After an incredible 2023-24 NHL regular season, one that some are calling the best ever with all the insane storylines, players chasing history, an electric MVP race, and a wildcard race that went down to the wire, it's finally playoff time, and with superstars and stacked teams in both conferences, it should be another epic year of spring and summer hockey, and it's really anyone's ballgame. So today I'm giving you my full Stanley Cup playoff predictions, how I think the bracket will shake out this postseason, and who will be taking home Lord Stanley. Starting it out in the Eastern Conference, we have a rematch of the Battle of Florida, with the 1 seed in the Atlantic, the Florida Panthers, taking on the first wildcard Tampa Bay Lightning. This should be an electric series based on what we've seen recently in the playoffs between these two teams and even during the regular season. The Panthers have been a wagon all season long, with guys like 57-goal scorer Sam Reinhart, Matt Tkachuk, Alexander Barkov, and Carter Verhaeghe. And this year, the defense has been super impressive, giving up the second fewest goals against in the league. With Sergei Bobrovsky in net and Anthony Stolarz backing him up, the goaltending certainly isn't a weakness either. Tampa Bay has one of the leading candidates for NHL MVP in Nikita Kucherov, who has an insane 100 assists and is going to win the Art Ross. And they also have superstars Brayden Point, Steven Stamkos, Victor Hedman, and Andrei Vasilevsky. But this team isn't as deep as they've been in years past, and Vasi isn't playing at the Vezina level we're used to seeing him play at. It's going to be fun, but I'm taking the Panthers in 6. The 2-3 matchup in the Atlantic has the Boston Bruins taking on their rivals, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Both of these teams have had really strong seasons, the Bees with David Pastrnak having well over 100 points, Brad Marchand, Charlie Coyle, and Pavel Zacha have also been key contributors, and their D-core led by Charlie McAvoy is one of the best in hockey. They also have what's arguably the best goalie tandem in the league right now, Jeremy Swayman and Linus Ullmark. The Maple Leafs have one of the top offenses in the league, led by Austin Matthews, who had a historic season. Willie Nylander and Mitch Marner are also superstars, and they have some other really solid pieces all throughout the lineup as well. I do worry a bit about their goaltending situation, and they were also swept by Boston in the regular season 4-0. I think the series will be close, but I'm taking the Bruins in 7. The Metro 1 seed and President's Trophy winning New York Rangers are taking on the second wildcard Washington Capitals. The Rangers have had a really strong regular season. Artemi Panarin's had a career year. Vinny Trocheck, Chris Kreider, Mika Zibanejad, and Adam Fox have been great. And even Alexi Lafreniere broke out for 28 goals and 57 points. They also have Igor Shesterkin between the pipes, who's one of the best goalies in the league when he's on his game. The Capitals are one of 2 teams that made the playoffs with a negative goal differential, the other being the Islanders, and it's not just barely in the red, it's -37. They have some strong forwards like Dylan Strome, of course Alex Ovechkin in the grade 8, and Tom Wilson, and they have John Carlson on D, but the only reason this team is in the playoffs is because of the play of Charlie Lindgren in net, who was good all year long, but especially down the stretch when he went 4-1 in his last 5 games with a .949 save percentage. I think that this team will get outmatched. Give me the Rangers with a gentleman's sweep in 5. And for the final round 1 series in the East, we have the Carolina Hurricanes versus the New York Islanders. Carolina Hurricanes are an extremely well-built team with very few weaknesses. Sebastian Aho is a superstar. And they also have Seth Jarvis, Teuvo Teravainen, Marty Necas, Andrei Svechnikov, and they added Jake Gensel at the deadline. Their defensive unit with Jacob Slavin, Brent Burns, Brady Shea, Brett Pesce, and Dmitry Orlov is probably the best in the league. And since returning to the lineup a few weeks ago, Freddie Anderson has been lights out with a 13-2 record and .932 save percentage. The Islanders got really hot down the stretch to make it into the playoffs, and they have some serious studs with Matt Barzal, Brock Nelson, Bo Horvat, and Kyle Palmieri on offense. Also Noah Dobson, Ryan Pulock, and Adam Pelech on defense. They're riding a hot Semyon Varlamov in net and have a fresh voice in Patrick Waugh behind the bench. And although I think it'll be closer than last year's matchup, I'm going with the Canes in 6. The first matchup out west will be the 1 seed in the Central, the Dallas Stars, versus the defending Cup champs and second wildcard, Vegas Golden Knights. The Stars were the best team in the Western Conference pretty much all year, and with Jason Robertson, Joe Pavelski, Roope Hintz, Wyatt Johnston, Matt Duchene, and Jamie Benn, you can see why. They also have Miro Heiskanen and Thomas Harley on defense and Jake Ottinger in net, who can be lights out when he's kicking. The Knights have had an up and down year, but with Jonathan Marchessault, Jack Eichel, William Karlsson, and Mark Stone coming back from injury, and also Shea Theodore, Alex Pietrangelo, Noah Hannafin, and more on defense. Also Aiden Hill in net, they will be tough to beat. But I think these are two of the biggest heavyweights going at it in round 1. It's going to be a bloodbath, but I'll take the Stars to get it done in 7. The next series will be the Winnipeg Jets taking on the Colorado Avalanche. This is a classic battle between the team that gave up the fewest goals all year in Winnipeg versus one of the highest flying offenses in the league in Colorado. The Jets have some serious studs like Kyle Connor, Mark Scheifele, and Nick Ehlers, also adding Tyler Toffoli and Sean Monahan before the trade deadline. Their defense, led by Josh Morrissey, is really solid, but their biggest X factor is Connor Hellebuyck in net, who's going to run away with the Vezina Trophy and is the best goalie in hockey. The Avs have some of the biggest superstars in hockey in Nathan MacKinnon, Mikko Rantanen, and Kel Makar. They also have strong surrounding pieces as well, but I do worry about their goaltending situation a little bit. Alex Georgiev has struggled at times this year, and Otterman, their backup, has never played in the playoffs. I think this will be a fascinating series, but I'm picking the Jets to take this one in 7. Next up, we have the first seed in the Pacific, the Vancouver Canucks, up against the first wildcard, Nashville Predators. The Canucks are incredibly skilled with guys like JT Miller, Elias Pettersson, and Brock Besser up front, and the likely Norris Trophy winner Quinn Hughes and Philip Hronek on defense. They also have a star goalie in Thatcher Demko that's finally healthy again. The Preds are a strong team led by the underrated Philip Forsberg and stud defenseman Roman Josi. Gustav Nyquist and Ryan O'Reilly have been huge gets for them in the offseason, and they also have some good young players as well. They have UC Saros in net, who's one of the most underrated goalies in the game, and someone who can steal games. Even though this should be a tight matchup, I'm taking the Canucks to win it in 6. Our final matchup in the West features two teams we've seen face off quite a bit in the past few seasons, the Edmonton Oilers and the Los Angeles Kings. The Oilers have two of the best players in the world in Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Zach Hyman's having a career year, and Evan Bouchard and Matthias Ekholm are studs on defense. Stuart Skinner's been a solid starter this year for them in net as well. The Kings have a balanced roster with guys like Adrian Kempe, Kevin Fiala, Andre Kopitar, Trevor Moore, and Quentin Byfield, and their decor, still led by Drew Doughty, doesn't give up much. Their goalie tandem with Cam Talbot and David Riddick have also been really effective this season. I think the Oilers have too much firepower though, and will beat the Kings again, Edmonton in 5. Now for round 2 in the East, we have a rematch of last year's round 1, the Florida Panthers and the Boston Bruins. I think Boston will be pulling hard to get revenge on last year's Florida win. I think it would go the distance, but I'll take the Bruins in 7. The second East matchup would be the Rangers versus the Hurricanes. The series could also be up and down, both teams being super fast and skilled. I do think Carolina is the more complete team and are built for playoff hockey, so I'll take the Canes in 6. This would leave us with an Eastern Conference final of the Boston Bruins and the Carolina Hurricanes. These are two really strong teams, especially defensively, but I think Carolina is on a mission to get to the Cup Final this year. I'll take the Hurricanes in 7. For our round 2 matchups in the West, we have the Dallas Stars versus the Winnipeg Jets. This would be a great battle, but I think the Stars would get this series win in 6 games. The next matchup would be an all-Canadian one, with the Vancouver Canucks and the Edmonton Oilers. This would be an exciting series, I think, with all the skill and star power, and I think home ice advantage could play a huge part, so I'll take the Canucks to get it done in 7. This leaves us with a West final of Dallas and Vancouver. These are two stacked teams with strong goaltending as well. I think experience and hunger will play a factor, and I think the Stars will finally get over the hump and get back to the Stanley Cup Final, winning the series in 6. So, meeting in the Cup Final are the Carolina Hurricanes and the Dallas Stars. Although I could see this series going either way and both squads are extremely deep, I'm picking the Dallas Stars to win it in 7 and to be your 2024 Stanley Cup champions with their incredible mix of young talent and veteran leadership. Make sure to comment below your predictions and subscribe to the channel for more awesome hockey content throughout the NHL playoffs. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's time for playoff hockey.